if you can't just live another day without a scrapple sandwich or an oyster fritter or an apple dumpling, I think today's your day to come down and eat lunch. What do you think, Brandon?
Oh, I think so. There are a lot of lovely people down there. I mean, these guys are out there with the rain, the cool weather. So we need to come out and support them.
It's a, this is a if you read what this festival is all about, it's not only bringing visibility to the apples and the T.S. Smith's apples and the Rappa brand of Scrapple downtown, but it's also allowing a lot of local charities to raise a lot of money to give money back to the community. There's a lot going on, and if you're over here, we'd love for you to stop by. As we said, Jim is out of town. I think we've blocked all the feeds. I was talking to somebody last night, and they said they've noticed. It was Bill Sammons from the Christian place, and he said he's noticed that the internet traffic is significantly down in Sussex County. Apparently, the transmission of pictures from Jim Weller's Facebook account is noticeably reduced the amount of internet traffic in Sussex County. So
he's clogging the internet.
He's clogging the internet. Well, we do have a couple great people that help make this show possible, and our first one is George Luff.
George Luff, yes. Luff and Associates. They are located in Milford. Actually, Jim does a little bit of work with these guys, and he absolutely loves them, and that's always a good plug. If Jim Weller loves them, they must be a good company because Jim Weller loves good company.
Well, I know one of the big things that a lot of small businesses need help with is payroll. And George has this great system called Easy Payroll that allows, for a very reasonable cost, him to take all that work away because payroll is so complicated, so hard to do, and it's extremely problematic. George and his team can take over that, and I think you folks here at Weller's use Easy Payroll.
We do, yeah. And as far as it being hard, it's very easy to receive the payroll. But George over there, they've got a very good pricing. I'm looking here. 1 to 5 employees, if you're a small company, $25 per pay period.
That's nothing.
That is nothing. 6 to 10 employees, only $30. I mean, that's worth it, I feel. You know, I don't do the payroll for Wellers, but I hear it is a big deal. And for $30 a pay period, I'll let George and his guys do it. You can reach him. This is another cool thing about George Luff is he's got one phone number for all of his buildings, and that's 422-9699.
Yeah, he's got offices in Rehoboth. He's got offices in Milford. He's got offices in Dover.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's what's great about George. I mean, you don't have to drive all over creation. I mean, he's got a local office close. And you know, the biggest thing that we see in payroll, because we have a lot of our customers from the bank, they use payroll services primarily because the taxes have gotten so complicated. That it's just you can't keep up with it, and if you get a little bit out of line with it, it's extremely problematic. And you need a CPA, somebody that understands all the rules of W-2s, W-3s, W-4s, all those big words, and can handle getting direct deposit and handle the payroll checks and the 941s and all these numbers that don't mean anything to me. He can handle all that for you. So George is a great guy.
The thing about payroll, it's one of those things that you just need that problem to go away. You know,
Right.
It's got to happen on a regular basis. You got to make sure there's no hiccups so your people stay happy.
Absolutely.
And George Luff has been doing a great job of just taking that little
been around a
complicated
while.
thing and just letting it keep on working every week for you.
But see, if you know one thing about Luff and Associates, it's just not George. There's
That's
a
right.
great team of people behind him. I think his wife really runs the show, but we're not going to talk about Kathy on the air. But we have a couple things to get through today. That was Darren Gingrich. Most of you know Darren as the owner and chief operating guru at Select Financial in good old Milford, Delaware. And we're gonna let him talk about what he does over at Select. And there's a lot going on in the markets. And we were talking before we got on air that one of the things you do is provide financial direction, services, retirement planning, or just planning in general. I mean, I think what you've made very clear is not to plan is a big decision. But a lot's been going on in the market, and we were kind of talking before we got on air about the all the turmoil and everything that's happening. And can you provide a little guidance or a little sanity to what's going on out there?
Yeah, well, part of our job is to create a new perspective for people, because when the markets go up and down, most of the time the emotions people feel is fear. When the markets go down, they feel fear. We feel a buying opportunity around the corner. So while the Dow has been doing a lot of fluctuation, and it's true we've been due a correction for a long time. Historically we're due, and I say that just based on history,
Right.
not my crystal ball, which has been on back order.
Yes.
But historically we're due a 10 to 20% correction. The markets have grown nicely since 2009, and again, they're up and down. You don't necessarily feel that growth as just a steady, fixed growth. There's some fluctuation. But if you don't listen a lot to the media,
Well, have you ever noticed, Darren, how when the Dow moves, and 200 points, I guess, is a big deal, but when the Dow's 17,000 and it moves 200 points, as a percentage, it's
probably
not,
less than a percent.
Yeah, it's really
yeah.
not a lot. But if you listen to some of the pundits, you'd think the world was coming to an end. Or the other way around, it goes up 200 points, and they're,
It depends on the story, how they want to spin it. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't get all excited when I hear. Now, if it was a couple thousand, maybe I'd be worried about it. But
I mean, you'll see a story one day that the market's never, the media has a story to spin, and the market's never going to grow again, and then the next day the market's just going to go, it's going to take it to the next level. So again, be careful where you get your information from. Be careful, where you base your information on your investment decisions.
What would you tell somebody
sitting in front of someone?
What would you do if somebody called you up and said, "Oh my gosh, the market is down or up 200 points. What should I do?" What's your first response to them, Darren?
Well, what you should do is you should have a relationship with a broker that he's prepared you for the good times and the bad times. The recommendations we make isn't based on the market continuing to go up. The recommendations we make are based on knowing that the market's going to go up and down. When people ask me what the market's going to do, I tell them the market. They'll ask me, "Is the market going to go up now, or is it going to go down?" And the answer is yes.
So
it's going to go up.
So
it's gonna go down.
There's no great urgency. I mean, you don't feel a great urgency either way, depending on whatever.
Exactly. I mean, the truth is we've been positioning our clients for a year and a half now, knowing that the market is likely to correct again in a more meaningful way than it has since 2009. And so we're not feeling anxious right now that the market's correcting, because we're expecting it, and we've already worked really diligently at positioning people so that they don't take the full.
Are people
correction.
talking more about oil lately? Are people?
Yeah, oil is one of those areas that people are intrigued by, and I'm intrigued by it. And if people ask about investing in oil, the truth is a lot of our portfolios have had oil in them for years. But usually when people are asking about a specific sector, like precious metals or oil, what they're really asking is, is it a good idea for me to put most of my money in these areas? And they're just another piece of diversification. I mean, I spent some time in the Bakken area, in the Dakotas, and there really is a buzz in the air that you can't really describe. I've told people as I've come back from some of those trips that I feel like I know what it was like to be in the gold rush, because when you're out there standing
Is that
in
where all
the
the
oil
fracking's
fields,
going on?
yeah. When you're standing, the prosperity, the feel of prosperity is almost tangible. There's literally an excitement in the air, and I've never seen infrastructure going in. It's amazing. The entire, along the roads is just ripped up. They're putting in, pipelines. They're putting in electric and plumbing, and it's pretty interesting watching infrastructure.
But how would a person, if they have an interest? I mean, if I was interested in oil, I'd probably think about putting some investments in an Exxon portfolio or something like that. But there's lots of other ways you can take advantage of getting a part of that if you believe that's going to be successful, right?
Well, that's exactly right. And that's another, oil is another of those areas that we're getting people, so in most cases, and many cases at least, we're getting people some exposure to this industry, this sector, because what we're trying to accomplish is a portfolio that's smoother. So you're looking for these pieces that don't necessarily correlate directly to the market. So my goal if the Dow corrects a couple hundred points is for you not to correct a couple hundred points. Obviously, you're going to have some exposure to the Dow, but we're looking for those other areas that aren't directly correlated to smooth it out, because smoother is better.
And it's always, and you mentioned the word diversify. Not many people think about that. They don't, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I think that's one thing your firm works pretty hard at doing. Maybe you don't hit a home run on everything, but you're also not going to strike out a lot. You just try
That's right.
to take the money, spread it around, put it in some good products that are going to meet their needs. And I know it's, in all of our conversations, it's all about needs. It's all about what are the goals? What are you really trying to do? Because some people have a tremendous risk tolerance. Some people don't.
Some people do. That's exactly right. And that's why everything has to be customized to them. The big thing, if the average amateur investor could eliminate two things from his decision making that would help him, their fear and greed. So our job is to help reduce those two pieces of fear and greed. It's our job to help people make decisions not based on emotion.
Yeah, and tell us why. I mean, you're a local guy. I mean, I see you in church all the time, and everybody sees all this media spend on call 1-800-broker guy, whoever that is, wherever that is, wherever. I mean, and I think what you offer is a little different. But why? I mean, there's always that excitement about calling 1-800-financial guy.
Well,
it's not really a good way to go.
Well, and that's just it. The truth is, I don't need to do advertising in Florida and other far reaches where, not to pick on Florida, but just as an example, our job is to service our state and our county.
And when you invest, I mean, one thing I found is, and we have this at the bank all the time, 1-800-BANK, God knows where they are.
Right.
When we do something for a client, just like yourself, you live here.
Right.
We're going to see you on the street. We're going to talk to you on the radio. We're going to see you in the grocery store.
Right.
So, and I know that keeps you very much focused on getting the best. You're not going to be talking to somebody in another state tomorrow.
That's right.
And it does make a huge difference in getting the job done for your clients. That's what I think.
The sell to the guy that isn't local oftentimes is the get-rich-quick kind of scheme. And, I'm sure there's some reputable people from out of state, but my point is that if you're living with people, your focus is long-term. I'm not the get-rich-quick guy. If you want to get rich quick, that's not me you want to be in front of. But if you want to, the market is out there as a tool to you to make money.
Now, Darren, if somebody wants to reach you or reach somebody at Select, what's the best way to get up with them?
424-7777, 302-424-7777, or Darren, DARREN, at selectfinancial.us.
So that's 424-7777. Darren, you're going to hang out with us this morning here in beautiful Bridgeville, helping get through the Weller Doesn't Do Delmarva show. If you're interested in a local broker or somebody that can help, just talk to you about what you want to do. Call Darren at 424-7777. And I think Brandon.
Yes.
How are we doing over there?
Oh,
Have you looked out the window?
I have looked out the window.
Is it cleared up at all?
No, it's still cloudy.
It was not raining when we came in this morning, so it was it was threatening, but
yeah,
it's getting there. And we have some other great companies that help make this show possible.
We do. I wanted to talk about No Nonsense Office Machines. Rick Fowler, he's the owner and operator over there. He's a great guy. I personally know him. Jim has known him for roughly about 24, 25 years now. He's located 2 miles east of the Circle, right there on Route 9 in Georgetown. As you're heading towards Lewis, he's right there on the right. Great guy. He does a lot of different things. He can get you laptops. He can get you tablets, computers. He can work on computers.
Does he help you if it doesn't work?
Does he help you if it doesn't work? Yeah, he helps.
Because, you can buy this stuff anywhere. You can go to any of these big boxes and get this stuff and bring it home. And
one cool thing I've seen him do actually is he's turned these gaming consoles and took out all the inside and turned them into an actual computer.
Really?
He's even done it with like a stereo. I think it was like the casing of a stereo, and he turned it into an actual computer.
So while Brooks is supposed to be out there selling trailers, he's actually playing on his Xbox.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful, Brooks.
That's the way you get things accomplished.
Is that the way you get things accomplished? That is fantastic.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and you can reach him. No Nonsense Office Machines, 856-7381. That's 302-856-7381. one.
Now, somebody tells me, and I don't know if this is true, but somebody told me if you ask for something when you walk in, you can maybe get a discount on labor. Is that true?
I think there's a rumor hanging out there. I've never really got it confirmed, and I don't even know if Jim has it confirmed yet. But if you ask for the Jim Weller discount, I think it might be like 20%, 25%, somewhere in there.
Off of labor?
Off of labor, yep.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And
Allegedly.
And if that's not true, Jim will cover it.
I'm going to have to interrupt you guys here real quick and do my executive producer duties. I got a
Oh.
disclaimer to play here for Darren's spot.
Okay.
The opinions voiced in this program are for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, financial advisor, or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities are offered in the U.S. through First Allied Securities Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer. Member FINRA, SIPC. Advisory services are offered through First Allied Advisory Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Wow, that sounded a lot like me.
That did sound a lot like you, Brandon.
Wonder
but
how
you were
they got
talking
that.
very quickly. But it is very clear if anybody is confused on who's in charge here.
Yeah, yeah.
It is the man Brooks. Brooks.
He's looking at us with his funky face. I'm like,
Brooks is in charge.
Got
but
to
I
lay
know
down the law.
We're going downtown. We're going to get some scrapple sandwiches after this is over.
oh,
Buying,
sounds good to
you
me.
buying, Jack?
Jim's buying.
Jim's buying. Oh, I
Jim-
like
Jim
that. I like
doesn't
that.
know it yet.
We just made an
but
executive decision.
That's
on
right.
Jim's
Brooks and
behalf.
I had this decision. We made this decision this morning. He would not want us to go without. We know how Jim is. We're here live in Bridgeville, and it is a little overcast right now at the Apple Scrapple Festival, but there's a lot of things that they're doing inside. So if it looks like it is going to clear later in the day, so you can still come down and get your scrapple sandwich. They're doing a health and safety fair at the fire hall. The Bridgeville Museum is open. There's this huge craft show at the I think it's a Trinity United Methodist Church, which is doing that craft show. And we've been to that a couple times, and they just fill that school with people. So if you can get down here and take advantage of that, there's the St. Mary's Episcopal Church is serving lunch in the fellowship hall from 11 to 3. There is just tons of stuff going on. I'm not sure what they're doing with the outside music. But I think if the music gets a little wet, Brooks is going to be singing later.
I'll have to work on that one.
okay.
Gotta do some vocal exercises here.
Okay.
What a great time though to go out. I mean, what else are you going to do today, right? It's
That's
raining
true. What are you
outside.
gonna do?
Get your scrapple sandwich for breakfast. What
Oh,
a better
yeah.
time.
I was I was down there last year, and I don't know if have you ever seen the car show they do down there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, they do a car show. It's actually put on by the Southern Delaware Street Rod Association. And last year they had like 300 cars. Now I don't know how many cars they're going to have today, but this organization for the last 25 years has been doing car shows. Their big show, their big one I think they do is it's in Harrington. But it is just an incredible show, and this organization is just wonderful. I've got to know Darlene, who actually works for Torkelson and Company CPAs here in another Bridgeville company, and they raise money, put it all back in the community. It's all volunteer. So if you're coming down to see the show, find Darlene. She'll be there somewhere. I think they have a big information thing in the fire hall. So, but that's the Southern Delaware Street Rod Association. They're a good group of people. They raise money for charity, and that's really what today is all about. So they're going to try to sell some scrapple and sell some stuff, and raise money to give it all back to the community. It's a great thing.
Yes, and we also want to talk about another one of our great sponsors that help run this radio show over here is First Class Heating and Air. I personally know the guys. They've done a lot of work over here at the store in Bridgeville. They've also done a lot of work at Jim's house, and I've had the pleasure to go underneath Jim's house after they done what is called. It's called a capsulation.
Is it amazing under there?
It's unbelievable. You can live underneath his house.
I tell you what, you keep that to yourself. Put some pictures up on Facebook. I'm not crawling under anybody's house.
Oh, it's so nice. Anyways, they've been serving Delmarva for over 40 years. They've actually do a lot of work here in Delaware and Maryland. You can reach them at 302-934-8900 or www.firstclasshvac.com. Locally owned, locally operated, 24/7 emergency service. All their employees are background checked and drug checked. They all wear uniforms. I even believe I've seen them slide those things on top of their shoes when they walk into your house. Great company.
No, I've heard they also do generators. Is that true? Not the kind of generators like you do, but I do believe they handle Generac generators.
Yes,
I think they can help you do that. Now that's not the kind of generators. Boy, Jim is really sweating now because we're talking about generators, and we're not talking about the kind of generators that you guys sell at Weller's. But the ones you have at Weller's are more the portable ones, and
Right.
you can get them. And if you need, and you always want to have one in your garage in case. But these are whole house big systems, right?
Standby generators.
Standby generators,
There you
a
go.
lot bigger,
Standby.
and
Right. They can come out and look at the property, size it, install it, and service it. Do it all there for you. They even have financing options available. So contact them at
What? Oh, they're competing with a bank. We're gonna let that go. That's okay. I do know they offer a 0% interest, and we don't offer a 0% interest at Community Bank. So he can keep offering a 0% interest.
I'm not trying to keep with the 0%.
We're not trying. We're not gonna get in that race. No, we're not gonna get in that race.
934-8900 is their phone number. firstclasshvac.com.
And Jim does love these guys. I mean, and
He does.
and that's a tough business because it's all about service. You can buy these equipment anywhere, but getting a local, and that's what this. And I think the theme of Weller Does Delmarva is all about, and what Jim and what most of the folks that are part of this are all about. It's all about local.
Right.
It's all about dealing with somebody that you know when you're done, you're going to be able to call them and they're going to come back if there is a problem. And there's always little things that need tweaked in any significant service or thing you buy. So that's always a good thing. How much more time do we have to wait?
We got about 1 minute left.
Okay. I want to tell you, I was at a great event last night. Delmarva Christian High School scholarship banquet. Great event. Mike Huckabee was there. There was 400 people. They're trying to raise a couple $100,000 for scholarships, so folks that have needs that want to support the school. It was a great event. Mike Huckabee was talking about, trying to make a difference and educate our youth, and it was a great turnout, a great crowd. They had a little auction, and their school's almost done. So anybody's interested, you should go check out that school. We'll be back in a minute. We're here live in Bridgeville. Weller's Does Delmarva. We're here with Darren, the Weller boys. This is Jack Riddle. We'll be right back.
Cheer's mission is to promote and maintain the highest quality of life and independence by providing services that make it possible for many adults 50 and up to continue to enjoy the comfort of their own home while maintaining the quality of life they have come to expect. Cheer services include home health care, transportation, mobile mini-mart, Meals on Wheels, companionship, and support groups. There are 7 activity centers throughout Sussex County. Call Cheer at 302-856-5187 or visit online at cheerde.com.
I'm back out on the street again. Join me, Sumo, as I take the show on the road to Bethany Beach Thursday, October 16th. I'll be broadcasting live at the Cottage Cafe on Route 1 from 10 until 3. I'm looking forward to meeting you and having you join in the conversation as we enjoy the great lunch menu at the cafe. Love the Dune fries. So let's make some noise at this establishment in the Quiet Resort Thursday from 10 until 3 at the Cottage Cafe.
CBS News Update. I'm Gary Nunn. A new level of Ebola screening starts today at New York's JFK Airport.
One of the reasons why JFK is the first airport is because it's the entry point for nearly half of the 150 flights that come from these places. It really is a place where there's a lot of traffic where they will actually find many of these passengers.
WCBS reporter Monica Miller, Ben Mutzabaugh, aviation expert for USA Today, tells how the screening will work.
What they tell us is you're going to be pulled aside for the non-touch temperature screening, and depending on how you answer the questionnaire and some of the other questions, there may be some follow-up.
Is this the ultimate solution to stopping the spread of Ebola?
It's a step forward. Whether it is the solution that will totally prevent it, clearly it will not be. There are other things that are going to have to be looked at, and that's being done right now.
CBS transportation safety analyst Mark Rosenker. Similar screenings will be implemented at Washington Dulles, Newark, Chicago O'Hare, and Atlanta. CBS News Update, I'm Gary Nunn.
Let's face it, installing a septic system and keeping it in good working order is one chore you'd rather leave to someone else. But choosing the right someone is critical. It's a good reason to trust Midway Services, earning your confidence for more than 25 years throughout Kent and Sussex counties. Call Midway Services today, 422-8603. That's 422-8603.
Thanks for listening to Delaware 105.9 on your radio. And for your convenience, streaming live online. Visit Delaware1059.com to hear local news and talk for Delmarva online, streaming 24/7. Sponsored in part by Jim Weller at Weller's Utility Trailers in Bridgeville, the largest trailer dealer in the area, and online at Wellers.com. Delaware 105.9, streaming live at Delaware1059.com.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Want to take back control? A Generac home standby generator protects your home against power outages every second of every day, all year long, automatically, whether you're home or away. Control your power, control your life with a Generac home standby generator. Contact Delaware's Elite Power Pro Generac dealer, DelawareGenerators.net, or call 302-422-4919. The
days are getting shorter and the nights colder, so don't let winter storms take you by surprise. If you need a generator or any kind of electrical services for your home or business, make Satterfield & Ryan Electrical Contractors your first call at 302-422-4919. Take time now to make sure your home is safe and protected from power surges and outages this coming winter. Make Satterfield & Ryan your first call, 302-422-4919, or visit online at satterfieldandryan.com.
Hi, this is Dan Gaffney. Join me for the morning show every Friday from our sponsor, Jimmy's Grill. We'll be on Route 13 in Bridgeville, live on location. Brought to you by Jimmy's, Highway 1 and Outlet Liquors, Route 1 in Rehoboth. Also brought to you by Weller's Utility Trailers, Bridgeville, Colin Walls of Walls Service Center, and Eagle Glass Company, Kent Sussex Industries, Bob Wheatley and Alliance Real Estate Professionals, Eagles Nest Fellowship Church, Milton, and Andy Cannon from Compass Energy, specializing in heating and air conditioning.
Hey, Jim Weller here.
And hey, this is Colin Walls.
I'm inviting you
to Jimmy's Grill every Friday,
5:30 to 10,
with Dan Gaffney and Delaware 105.9.
Made from scratch radio,
with food,
fellowship,
fun,
networking,
and lots more.
You're invited to stop by and talk with us on our open microphone, 5:30 a.m. till 10 a.m. this Friday at Jimmy's Grill in Bridgeville on Delaware 105.9.
Have you considered reducing your smoking risk and switching to electronic cigarettes? Come to Delmar Vapor Lounge, a store dedicated to helping you learn all about your e-cigarette choices and try one before you buy one. Delmar Vapor Lounge is located next to Delmar Pizza in the State Line Shopping Center and offers a clean, family-friendly environment with free Wi-Fi, water, games, Netflix, and a restroom. Delmar Vapor custom blends over 200 flavors of e-liquid in 24 nicotine levels so you can decide how much nicotine you get without sacrificing flavor. Finding your perfect e-liquid is the most important step in the transition from smoking to vaping. And with over 5 billion different combinations of flavor and vapor available, Delmar Vapor is sure to find the right one for you. Delmar Vapor Lounge sells only high-quality, nationally recognized brands of personal vaporizers, ensuring that you can get parts and accessories for your device wherever you may roam. Open 9 to 9 Sunday through Thursday until 11 on Friday and Saturday. Delmar Vapor Lounge on Route 13 in the State Line Shopping Center, Delmar, Delaware.
The following program is a paid commercial presentation. The comments, views, and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of the staff, management, or advertisers of Delaware 105.9.
Good morning, Delmarva. We are live here at the World of Jim Weller. Weller does Delmarva. I'm here with Darren Gridges. This is Jack Riddle, banker by day and radio guy when Jim's out of town. Jim is down sending Facebook posts from wherever he is, and we are live here at the world headquarters of Wellerville. And what time do you guys open today?
We open at 9 o'clock.
We open at 9, and is today big sale day here at Weller's?
It's always a big sale.
It's always
day.
a big sale. And you know, Jim doesn't know how to spell sale.
I've seen that. I keep telling them that's wrong.
S-A-I-L, yeah. And but that's okay. But there's a lot of people coming and going, coming to see the Apple Scrapple thing. And one of the things they could do is if they need something to put in their car, you know where you can hook them up.
Yes, they can come here to Weller's. Now, the one thing I wanted to highlight, you can't necessarily put
in
the back of your car. sheds. As most of you know out there, we sell sheds, and they are Amish-built sheds. But I wanted to point out one thing. I'm dealing with a customer right now from the Lewis-Rehoboth area, and they live in a development, and they operate under a homeowners association. And one thing that homeowners associations, or most homeowners associations, ask for are certificate of liability insurances and business licenses and all that stuff. We take care of all that right here. We have copies of all that for the companies that are bringing the sheds so that you can ensure that you're going to be taken care of when they come down there. The guys are great. I know the owner personally, Dave, up there in Pennsylvania. He builds the sheds. He puts his passion in it when he builds them. You can just see the quality of the sheds when you come here.
How many sheds do you have outside? You've got more than 2.
Yeah, I've got more than 2, probably less than 50, somewhere in between.
Well, that is one thing. You come here, you can. It's not like you're buying out of a catalog. You can really see the quality. I mean, you can see it, feel it, touch it, right?
Yes, you can see it, feel it, touch it, and you can come in and talk to the shed doctor. That would be myself.
Oh,
Brandon.
You're the shed doctor.
I'm the shed doctor.
I did not know that.
I actually used to build these things through my high school days. We built one over there at Sussex Tech for a like a Habitat for Humanity type project. So I know the ins and outs of what they're doing and the recommendations and things like that.
But most people are fearful of buying a shed because they don't want to deal with, figuring out where it goes or setting it up. I mean, your team, when you sell these, it's not like you
Start
throw it
to finish.
Yeah, you don't put it in the back of their truck and say, "Have a great shed life."
Correct.
I mean,
correct.
you help them.
I will sit down with them, discuss the sizes, the styles, the options that they can do with the sheds. The company that we sell these sheds for, they can come in. They offer a site prep program where if your ground's not quite level,
they can do all that too.
They can do all that.
Now, what about permits? Is there permits you need for these things sometimes?
They are depending on where you live. You can check with your local area, towns, governments, counties, whatever, and they'll let you know exactly what rules and regulations fall where you live.
Right.
From the shed people, they do have all the stuff that they need and the permits they need to bring the shed to you, and they will make sure they do it right and do it quickly.
Wow.
Quick and easy. I like that.
Quick and easy. Yeah, I've actually have a few sheds from Wellers, and it was very, very wonderful. I came in here. We decided what we did. We decided to color. Money changed hands. Next thing I knew, there was sheds. It was done.
It's like magic.
It's like, oh, magic.
A lot of people don't know the size you could get. We have horses, and I'm considering getting a pretty large one for hay storage and to use for some additional horse stalls.
Oh yeah.
So
when you think shed, most people
we're not talking about like a little place for your lawnmower. We're talking about a really nice large shed.
Yes, you can get large
or
ones.
barn.
I actually sold one down to Gary at Millman's Appliances.
I saw pictures that Gary Corman.
Yes.
Yeah.
14 foot wide, 40 foot long. So when I say shed, that doesn't mean necessarily
it can mean
it
barn.
has to be a small one.
Yep.
It could be a big building. I'm actually working on a quote right now on a 2-story, double-story garage from the same company.
And they just show up assembled and done deal and
for the most part.
Wow.
Some of them they have to build on site, but
wow.
Well, that's again, we talk about local a lot, but here you can come in and you can talk to these folks here at Wellers. They're very personal people. They're passionate about what they do. They're good people. They're good ethical people. They're going to help you through the process from start to finish. And if they don't know an answer to something, they're going to do some research and find out. So great folks to work with.
Another thing we pushed a lot, especially this morning, is we're local.
That's
we
right.
live here. We weren't hired
That's
from
right.
across the United States to come in and change up a business. We all live here. We work here. We eat here. We spend our money here. And so you can rely on us and trust us that we're going to do a good job for you.
Because you're going to be here tomorrow.
We're going to be here tomorrow. We don't want you mad at us.
I might not be here tomorrow, but that's
but you've got a good excuse, Brooks.
Yeah, I got a little baby girl coming, so I might have to run off to the hospital. It could be any minute. I got
That's
the phone
exciting.
sitting right
Well, I
next to me.
hope
That's
if
exciting stuff.
If you're going to the hospital or you're preparing for your family, I'm hopeful you have good insurance.
I do have good insurance.
You have good insurance.
Yep.
Now, do we know anybody in the insurance business?
I think
Brandon does.
We do.
I
Brandon,
do.
do you know somebody that's a quality local company that when you think of insurance, you think of them? Who do you think about?
L&W Insurance Agency comes to mind.
Is that
when
Bill
you say
Strickland's
that.
company?
That is.
Bill.
That
wow.
is.
There's another local guy. He's chairman of the board at Kent Sussex Industries. You know that?
I did
so,
not know that.
So in addition to, doing everything right by his customers in the insurance field, he's also very involved in his community, which
Yes.
I think is a sign of all these small business folks. That's how our community grows. So what can you tell us about L&W?
I can tell you they are located in Dover, Delaware. They've been serving all of Delaware for over 60 years. They don't offer just one type of insurance. They offer insurance on auto, home, health, life, and even commercial insurance coverage. Again, like you said, he's a live, friendly person. He's here. You're not calling and talking to a robot, push 7 to go to this menu. They have friendly people that answer the phone. Very nice company to deal with. I know Jim works closely with them, and I'm sure some of his decisions that he's made in his professional life have been through the help of the insurance agency at L&W Insurance. You can contact them at 674-3500 or 856-7828. One thing I did want to say here is they do represent you, the policyholder, not an insurance company. You can also check out their website at www.lwinsurance.com.
Well, and they are a great organization. They've been around a while. I mean, Bill has been he's been a part of the community, and I know they're kind of one of these problem-solving companies as well. We can call them up and get some advice on what can meet your insurance needs, whether it's health or home or business or personal. L&W Insurance in Dover, 674-3500. Now, this shed thing you were talking about.
Yes.
It kind of intrigues me because it really a lot of people sell sheds.
They do.
A lot of people sell sheds, but I'm not sure many people have a shed doctor.
No, not many people have a shed doctor. I am a self-certified shed.
Self-certified? You have a certificate?
I have certified. I can make one up for you if you want me to have one. But I do know I have worked in the carpentry field a little bit in my lifetime. I'm only 26 years old, so there's not much life there. But I do know a little bit about the ins and the outs of the sheds and how they're built. I'm not here just to sell you a shed. I'm here to get the shed that you need.
So you know what a good shed should look like.
Yes, yes. I'm not talking about little one-bys with a couple pieces of Luan on the outside to prevent the rain from stopping to get you. I'm talking about sheds that can be built anywhere from 24 inches on center to 16 inches on center with different options like fold-down shelves, lofts, different heights, different looks. They can even put real stone across the front. They can match the house or the shed to look like your house.
Which for in some housing developments, that's very important. It's required to do that.
The one I was speaking about earlier about where she needed the certificates and stuff from the company so the homeowners association can approve it. They are requiring her house to look or their shed to look identical to her house, and we here at Wellers can make that happen.
Well, I think it's really critical because you can buy a shed anywhere, but being able to walk in here and speak to someone who understands the business and can make it fit your needs. And you don't just sell sheds in Bridgeville. I mean, how far away have you delivered sheds?
We've had sheds delivered down to the lowest point of Delmarva. They're down in Virginia. I've had them over in Baltimore. Actually had a special designed one over in Baltimore where they had to have it match their house. So we do what we can to get what you need. Like I said, they put their passion behind what they do. Good, honest people. We all make mistakes, and they usually tend to catch them when I write down the wrong thing. So their attention to detail is magnificent.
Do most people come in here? Do they really know what they need? I mean, I would think that'd be a big problem. I have to believe a lot of what you do is consultative, like saying, well, what do you really want to do with this thing?
Exactly. Well, I'll sit down and discuss your budget, what style of shed, what are you wanting to put in the shed. Some people are like, I want to store my mower, but they want an 18 wide by 24 foot long shed. Not necessarily the smartest thing to do financially. However, I've also got people where they want to store all this stuff, but think they only need a 4x6. So I'm here to help you walk through your decision in buying a shed, and I'm here along the whole process from
after the sale,
designing it to helping get you through the process to making sure it's delivered on time and appropriately.
And that makes all the difference because, I mean, these are not. First of all, the worst thing you can do is get the wrong one. Because once you buy it, because it is, I mean, they're not real cheap. But more importantly, if you buy the wrong one and get it on your property, and it's not the one that you really needed, that's a problem. It's not like you can push the undo button and the thing goes away.
Right. It's not like a computer file and you can push delete.
Right. It's I mean, so this is something when you make your decision, you need to be talking to somebody that really understands how to get it done. So.
Yes, and I'll put it on the record. We haven't, knock on wood, delivered the wrong shed yet.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. We are, this is Weller's Does Delmarva. We are live at the world headquarters of Weller's Utility Trailers. Jim is out of town. I'm Jack Riddle here with Darren Gingrich, my co-bunk and co-host today. He was with Select Financial, and we're holding the fort down here at the Wellers. Which,
you think Jim's listening this morning?
No. Are you kidding? He's probably sleeping or working on Facebook. I mean, we'll know because when you'll know, Brandon, because when George does easy payroll this week, if your check's a little different one way or the other, you'll know if Jim was listening.
I'll understand if I got in trouble.
Yeah,
or not.
you will understand if you got in trouble. I have decided what today is.
What is today?
Today is no one should eat lunch at home day.
There you go. Let's get our apple scrapple sandwich.
I mean, everything that's going on here at the Apple Scrapple. I just got a Facebook post about something going on at the Greenwood Mennonite School. There's lunch there. They're doing some music. It's called the First Annual Fall Worship Fest. Okay. So if you're out and around and you can't get all the way to Bridgeville, parking at admission is free. And 3 o'clock there's some cornhole. Then they're going to have worship with Harrison Doyle, 3rd and North tonight. The Teens Challenge Band.
Nice.
So if you're up near Greenwood, you can go there. If you're down here in Bridgeville at Apple Scrapple, like I said, we've talked. There's a lot of outdoor activities at Apple Scrapple, but there's also a lot of indoor activities. So come down to the craft show or the health and safety fair, or check out the Bridgeville Museum. But we've decided, Darren, it is a great day not to eat at home.
That's right, and you could conceivably hit both. Greenwood and Bridgeville are not far apart.
That's exactly right. You could get a tune up in Greenwood and then get down here. So it's an exciting day to find something to eat and
do some stuff today.
And Jim's not paying for all that, right?
No, unfortunately.
No discounts.
No discounts. No discounts. Hey, you were talking about you were talking about this company First Class.
Yes, First Class Heating and Air.
And we started talking about encapsulation, and you were telling us how brave you were crawling under their house.
And that you live under a house?
No, I don't live under his house.
Okay.
No.
You could. You said you could live under
He wants too much rent to live underneath his house. So.
Well, he does heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and it's something called Home Performance. What's Home Performance? Do you know?
Home Performance. Actually, I believe Jim actually did a live presentation of this with First Class Heating and Air at his house, which they'll test your house. They'll actually, I believe they put a big old fan in the front door.
They pressurize it somehow.
Pressurize the house, and they'll take this cool little computer thing and they check to see where the cool air or warm air is leaking, and it basically tests your house to see how it's performing.
So if you've got a house which is got some age on it, or even if it's a new build and they missed some insulation or missed some seals and you're losing a lot of heating or cooling, this will point it out. Is that what it's all about?
That's exactly what it's all about. They're not here to just sell you the machine to put in your house to get your heat or your air conditioning. They're here to make sure that the house is performing the way it needs to be, to help get the bill down and stuff like that. Not just to sell you the air conditioner or the heater and be done and be gone. They're here to make sure that the property does what it needs to be doing, and they are there and they stand behind their product.
And it's the same. It's the same as whether it's a shed, whether it's a financial service. These guys are local.
Mm-hmm.
The owner of the company lives here, and he's been doing it 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not like this is his first run at this.
Right.
And I think it's really important that you find somebody that just didn't start in this business yesterday.
Right.
Because this is another thing. We talked about the sheds hitting the ground being the wrong thing. When you're dealing with the heating and cooling in your house, you really want to deal with somebody that understands the business and will take the time to understand your needs. How do we get up with First Class Heating and Cooling?
You can contact them at 302-934-8900. That's 302-934-8900. Or you can go on their website, First Class, and that's first spelled out, firstclasshvac.com.
And, this is a great time of year to think about making that call because we're coming into the cold season. I mean, I've woke up some of these mornings, you start feeling that fall.
Yeah, we switched over from air to heat.
Yep. And with the price of fuel oil and electricity, just makes sense to be efficient today.
Yeah.
It just seems to me that the worst time to call a company like this is when it's 10 degrees and it's January and something's not working.
That's right.
I mean, it's a lot because, and I'm sure he does service contracts and the whole deal where he'll come out and make sure that the system works because you do not want to be calling him, even though he offers 24/7 service. You do not want to be calling him, especially when you're traveling. You're out of town, and your wife calls and says, "It's 5 a.m. and we have no heat." Not a good plan.
Right, and it's good that you mentioned the service agreements because he does offer service and maintenance agreements on all his products, which is 15% off parts and labor.
That's really good.
If just listening to this show, I mean, if you write down all the savings we've offered, and we offered I told Jim we were going to give away socks today or something, but he didn't seem real excited about that. So, I mean, if you write down all the sales, SAILS, that is on Weller Does Delmarva, and just put it out, I mean, you can pay for what it costs you to listen to this station this morning.
You can.
I mean, what a deal.
And all the money you can save, you could go down and either go to Greenwood Mennonite or the Apple Scrapple, and you can reinvest
Get a
that
free
in some lunch.
So today can be a
Who
free
said
day.
There's no free lunch today?
Well, they're probably not free, but you got to net it out against everything we're doing. Our executive producer stepped out for a minute. Is he going to deal with?
No, he's out there helping.
Is
get
he
the
selling
store
something?
Open. I don't. He might be selling something now.
I'll tell you what. That is one thing that I mean. There's always somebody here you can talk to about when you're going to buy something,
Yes.
which I think is absolutely incredible. You're not going to be stuck doing a self-service thing or handed a catalog. I mean, and you can actually walk the grounds and look at this stuff, especially with trailers.
Yes.
I mean, it's intriguing to me, and Jim and I have talked over the years about how people come in here and they've been up to the box store and talked to those folks, and they come down here and then they start really talking to one of you folks about really what they need and whether the axles and the lights and the whole thing, and they end up buying something completely different than what they started with.
Right. We care about what you need, not what we want to sell. If all you need is a little 5x8 landscaping trailer to move your push mower around, we're not going to try to sell you a 28-foot enclosed trailer just to pad our pockets. We're here to get you what you need. We're going to walk out there on the lot with you, rain, snow, heat, cold. We want you to enjoy the purchasing experience.
Well, no, and somebody buys a trailer. Let's assume they buy a trailer from you and they use it a couple years and their needs change.
They can bring the trailer back.
And you'll work them through either buy it back for them or
trade it in towards
in.
something else. Yep.
So it's not like it's a once and done. And people's needs do change.
They do. And most of the times it's expanding, whether they're going from 1 trailers to 3 trailers or a smaller trailer to a bigger trailer. But even if you're coming from a bigger trailer to a smaller trailer, we do all that. You bring the trailer by, we'll take a look at it, and we'll take that and trade it in towards a newer trailer.
Most people don't need 2 trailers.
Most people don't need 2 new trailers.
I've
got
got 3-4 trailers.
Oh, do you?
Probably.
Yeah.
And I bought numerous trailers from welders. Because for me, you can never have too many trailers.
Right.
I don't know that I've ever traded any in. They get parked in the weeds maybe, but anyway. But you'd be surprised how many people have numerous trailers.
Really?
I've got different trailers for different jobs.
Wow.
You could have a trailer for each day. Just buy 7 trailers, and that way you have one for Sunday, Monday,
I like
Tuesday.
to be prepared.
Yes.
And you can take all your friends to the Greenwood.
One of the things I appreciate working with you guys, because I have bought numerous trailers throughout the years, is when they're asking you questions, they're actually listening to the answers. I mean, there's times I see these guys actually writing down my, as they're talking to me and hearing about my needs. Sometimes I see them actually making notes for themselves so that they make sure they get it right, make sure that they've considered all my needs. I appreciate that about you guys.
Yes, and thank you. We do care about the customer. We're not your I don't want to use we're stereotypical sales field. We're here. We're concerned about what you need.
There is nothing typical. There is any place you can get a free pair of socks with a trailer is not typical.
Yeah, everybody loves us here at Weller's, especially because of the socks.
Yeah, when I heard this whole sock thing, and I've heard that Weller's does own more than a couple dozen pairs of socks, is what I've been led to believe.
Yes, and
how do you feel that, Jim? He names his company Weller Utility Trailers. Says he's one of the biggest trailer dealers on Delmarva, if not the region, and everybody talks about socks.
It's amazing marketing, isn't it?
It is.
If you're going to do something, you may as well have fun at it.
Yeah.
True. Life is serious enough. Life is hard enough without, not having fun. If you're going to buy a trailer, hey, let's have some laughs.
We haven't really talked. What's the number here?
The phone number here quickly is 337-8228, 302-337-8228, or you can check us out on the web at wellers.com. Best thing to do is come in and see Brooks, Brandon, or Earl and get whatever you need from Wellers today.
All right, we are out of here now. It's been a great show. We are leaving Wellers Does Delmarva. We'll be back next week. This is Jack Riddle with Darren Gingrich. Jim, hope you're having a great vacation. Stop in to Apple Scrapple if you're in town. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Local news first on Delaware 105.9.